Hello everyone, my name is Millie and welcome to episode 10 of Millie's Modded Minecraft. How are you all doing today? I hope you liked our little flyover as the sun rose over our beautiful lighthouse. I'm about to take you on a tour. Let's get started. So I did quite a bit of terraforming since the last time that we looked at this beautiful build. As you can see, I added some terrain, some rocks, a little tiny bridge. I have added a special something here, but this is a beach chair. And then I have a little umbrella because, you know, sometimes you gotta get tropical with it. I have also outside, I'm just going to kind of take us through all the outside stuff first, added a path through here to get to our cow crusher, which I'm not going to get too close to, it's very loud. I have also terraformed this whole outside area, added lots of flowers and leaves and bushes and all sorts of that sort of thing, and also made this little river area, and I'll walk all the way over, kind of terraformed it all the way out, so it comes all the way from this side. It kind of almost splits the island in half. Hello, horsey. I'm going to build you a stable very soon. So we have all of this beautiful area done, and I tried bringing over fish, but I think they head out that way to the ocean. So I do have a whole bunch of more fish in my inventory, but I'm going to need to probably find a way to keep them in place. So we might make like a little fish pond here, and I might like put a fence or something in there to kind of keep the fish from moving anywhere. But there is our lighthouse in all of its shader glory. You may have noticed I have also pushed back the mine entrance a little bit. It's a little more flush with the mountainside here. So as we go up, the interior is almost a blank slate still. There's a few things that I have added. I've added some bushes. I've added a little tiny seating area, but I think I'd like to maybe put some carpets down, and this chair is very boring. Now I added a new block that is called Decorative Blocks. It's a new mod, I mean. I think there should be something that is here instead of these trap doors, but I haven't found it yet, so hopefully I'll come to the bottom of that later. There are these neat little like decorative corner pieces, which is what I use to make the table itself, and then benches you can sit on, and just sort of like a kitchen area. As I said though, all of this interior it's pretty sparse so far. Haven't had a lot of time and to decorate it yet. So coming up here real quick, each floor is pretty much like that, like spiral staircase in the middle, big empty room, trying to figure out what to do with things. I think I would like to make a few different kinds of farms up in this section. Maybe we'll put a sugarcane farm up here, maybe an auto smelter of some sort. Cactus. I don't think I'm going to do a cactus farm. I don't really need that. Don't use a lot of green. And then on this level we have just a bedroom, I'm thinking. But then the staircase goes into a single wide all the way up, and I really like the look of this. Now, I might split the room in half at some point, but I don't think so. I really like the look of it. Just being able to see a wide open space. So I might put maybe a balcony or a like maybe a single walkway around it. And as we come out, you can kind of see out the windows there. I have little flower pots on the windows far up above. You can barely see them from the ground. And then one little ladder and one trap door brings us up into the lighthouse portion itself. And I harvested shroom lights. I don't think you can see where I was doing that down there, but I can show you. And thought that would be a very bright addition for the lighthouse itself. And from up here you can see our beautiful farm and everything that's been going on down there. And now that I remembered to turn my render distance up, I realize we have an island not too far away from here. And there's actually jungles off that direction I didn't even realize. Something happens when you only have your render distance up at 8. Alright, so what do you think of the interior of our lighthouse? Obviously, I have a lot more work to do inside, but I think outside is looking pretty good. I mean, I added these azaleas. I went and found, now I have not found a lush cave, and I'm regretting that, and I need to find a lush cave somehow. We will. But what I did find was a sunken ship that had a single moss block, and all this moss has come from it because, of course, we have a skeleton spawner, so I have all the bone meal I could ever want. So I've grown up a whole bunch of azalea trees around. We have all these little azalea bushes, which are beautiful, all the shrubs, and everything like that. So I think it's looking pretty good. Obviously, it's you know, could use probably a little more work, and obviously I have to take this stuff down here. That's where I was farming for our shroom lights. But otherwise, I am feeling pretty good about it, and I thought I'd celebrate the occasion with a cake. So I made us a cake to put on our table. There we are. Our beautiful cake. That'll cover up the fact that I don't have a board that matches that. Anyway, so before the sun sets on this day, let me show you a couple surprises that I have been working on while I have not been on camera with you. So obviously, as I mentioned, I built this cute little like beach chair and umbrella. It doesn't keep out the rain. It's built with string, so 3 fences, string against all the way around, all 8 blocks around the single center post. As you can kind of see it like that right there. You can see the string. And then carpets go on top, and this is just a half slab of birch. And then you can make it whatever color you want. These are just 2 trap doors, one on top of one another, and another half slab. And same kind of goes with the fence. Lots of trapdoors and half slabs to make it. And then I've got torches hidden behind moss carpets. Okay. Some other things that I've been working on is I did find a dripstone cavern at one point. So I brought a whole bunch of dripstone back, and I'm slowly but surely using it to grow the dripstone. As you can see, I've literally only gotten one little tip so far. But I like to add, I think I'd like to add dripstone in amongst this terraforming eventually, and maybe have a few spikes. But I think that's it for up here for the most part. So nothing too much. I did open that up now that our copper is almost all changed. It's looking really nice. It looks beautiful on the outside. I knew that color would be just right for this. Look how gorgeous that is. We just have a few more little blocks over there that need to change on the roof. And then it's going to be finished. It's going to have, I mean, the color with that, like, really looks good with that red. So I'm really pleased with it. Now, again, we've got our farms extended through here. I've got all of our beautiful landscaping through here, and I've kind of left it more a little green with some flowers around. And obviously, we've got a lot more of the farm itself to do. We need to build a stable, we need to build a barn or something for all of our other animals so they don't have to keep hanging out in that pen. But in the meantime, I have worked on enchanting a whole bunch of things. So we have enchanted a crazy fishing rod. So I've gotten all of these items from fishing so far. Not these I found in buried treasures, obviously. And then we still have a whole bunch of tools to enchant. And I did go ahead and make a few additions to these. So now I have a Silk Touch shovel. And we have our Silk Touch pickaxe, which I'm going to need a name for. And a netherite pickaxe, also going to need a name for that. Let me get rid of my cow head here. And obviously, I've had some more visitors. We've had lots of visitors here. That makes six that I've done. And not had to worry about a single raid because I have a whole bunch of cows. So, again, oh, and an infinity bow. It's not great. I'm going to have to get a whole bunch of bows from my skeleton farm and merge them all together. So let's check on a few things that have been going on. Now, I mentioned before that we have 2 chickens in here, and that's it. And I've been doing a lot of farming with our wheat. That's why we have so much wheat. And look at all this bone meal, and look at all these eggs. Look at that. It's insane. We're going to have to figure out what to do with those eggs besides just, you know, throw them somewhere and see if chickens spawn. So there is our pond area. Now you probably noticed this jacuzzi sitting next to this. So I did a thing, and this was earlier today, and decided to make an elevator. So this is the drop chute. It is terrifying. I got water at the bottom, so it was perfectly safe. And it brings us right down to the skeleton spawner. And I did a little terraforming because I don't like it when it looks like so just boring. Hello, zombie. Don't think I've seen one of you spawn down here. I must have unlit an area somewhere. So anyway, we have our beautiful zombie farm. I have given myself a clock here to watch, so daytime is the right time to go back upstairs because it is right out in the middle of the open. And then I've also dug a path directly down to our absolutely beautiful amethyst geode and started to collect up with our Silk Touch pickaxe our amethyst clusters. So look how beautiful those are with these shaders. Look at that. That is insane. Obviously you can tell that they have been growing like crazy because basically if you didn't see it with the shaders on. So I have taken out everything down through here except for the budding amethyst. So that's why we have all these beautiful crystals. And then I dug this cave directly up so that it's all within line of sight so it can grow while I'm working on the farm and killing me some zombies. And look, a bow already. And then I can unenchant things down here or enchant things and merge things together on my anvil. So yeah, that's what I've been working on off camera. So it's still daytime here. Boop. And then we have a bubble elevator. So I did go back to the nether, had plenty of soul sand, which I had already had for this. And I will show you how to do that on the zombie farm when we do the zombie XP farm soon. But that is our sand. Then we pop right back up. I close the door. Nobody has to know. It's just a little jacuzzi for your feet. And yeah, I can't stop looking at this. I think I might need to build like a couple more palm trees around here. It might be kind of cute. And then we might put like maybe some of these crystals around. It looks so pretty and cute. As I mentioned, I wanted to give you all a tour of everything. I love the sound those crystals make when you put them down. And obviously I did a lot of harvesting off camera. And so that is our main portion of things that I have done. Now, another thing I've done is we've expanded. I've made a couple different, like basically, I have a couple options for ways to get back and forth around the world. So we've got these warp stones, but they're very expensive to create, and I did load the Just Enough Items mod. And so basically, in order to make warp stones, you have to have 4 ender pearls, an emerald, and dye. The dye obviously is easy, emeralds aren't too bad, but getting these ender pearls obviously is kind of a difficult feat. And then you have to create it with obsidian and a type of block. So it's not too expensive, I guess, in the terms of materials, but that is the stone itself. To make warp scrolls to warp to those stones from wherever are a little expensive unless you make these bound ones, which they're not bad at all, but they only go to one place. And if you're in the Nether, it doesn't work. You have to have a scroll in the biome where or the like dimension where you want to warp to. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. And even going from stone to stone, depending on how far you're warping from one place to another, you're going to use up your experience points. So I went exploring after installing this mod, and there's like villages far out which naturally spawn these things. But the issue is it takes all of these levels to go back and forth, so I don't like to do it very often. So the warp scrolls are the way to go, because you use your materials, you don't have to use your levels. But they're kind of expensive, and this can warp from different places, like different dimensions back and forth. But again, it costs another ender pearl after you've created it, and you get 3 of them. So I haven't been using that a lot. So what I did instead to be able to get us around to little areas back and forth was started to work on a Nether Hub. Now, if you've never made a Nether Hub, they're pretty nice. So everything on the real world has a certain like space of blocks, and you divide that by 8 if you go into the end dimension, into the Nether. So getting from here to our village just requires a little travel. So I started to make a Nether Hub. This is as high up, right to the bedrock as possible. It's not on top of the bedrock. I'm too afraid. Yeah, I'm not afraid to try that trick, but it's a pain. So I just make all of my Nether Hubs, and you can see on the map above that there's lines. So I need to finish with half slabs, because half slabs are non-spawnable blocks for critters and creatures of the Nether. So I think if I do half slabs all the way down, it should be completely unspawnable up here. I have seen a couple piglins here and there. And then over here, there had been the other portal I had built at the village. So as you notice, I barely walked just down a short little hallway. And I literally warped right here by the zombie spawner. So that is fast travel via the Nether, and I just fell down a hole I didn't know existed. Oh, I have to come back and fill that. So we're gonna go over to the village today real quick. Gonna just trade some of our vegetables and our wheat. but I wanted to show you basically how this whole thing works. Hello. Don't walk away from me while I'm talking to you. Alright, do you like carrots? You like carrots too. I'm going to give you some carrots. Thank you. 1 carrot short, seriously? Do I have carrots here? Hi, would you like this carrot I just stole for your garden? You will? Perfect, thank you. Potatoes. Alright, and you know what? I'm going to give you a potato. You're welcome. So, that is the other thing that I had been working on. So, I think, as I said on our last episode, I mentioned that we needed to make the zombie farm. Ooh, is that a... Oh, okay, it's a horse. Thought there was a witch over there for a second. So there's a couple options for things that we need to build. We obviously need to take care of... We obviously need to take care of our village, and we need to take care of that zombie spawner. I think it might be nice to have a villager cleric that we can trade a whole bunch of lovely zombie flesh with. It'll be another way of getting experience and emeralds while we're right there at the village versus having to travel with wheat and sticks and other things. And it keeps the villagers away from this side. I mean, I like villagers, but they're very loud. So there's one option of what we need to do. And then our other thing that we really need to do, obviously, is clear this area out a little better and build our stable for all of our donkeys and our horses. So one thing that I did do while I went exploring is I found a whole bunch more saddles and iron horse armor. So we've got a lot of nice things to, you know, put on our horses and deck them out. And obviously we don't have a place for our sheep or pigs or other cows, any of that. So we definitely need to do that. So I think at the moment I'm going to continue getting everything kitted out because right now, obviously, I'm just in iron and... Oh, I do have my golden helmet on. Well, that's handy. Ooh, our dripstone grew another spike. That's awesome. Hopefully we'll have one more spike and then I'll start harvesting there. And then I will come back with maybe an idea of what we want to build next. All right, and we are back, and I have decided what I was going to build, and I did a little bit of extra decoration on this back porch. I think it looks nice. I need to actually use some of those decorative blocks. But anyway, so the decision I made, as you can tell by this large empty field, is I'm going to make our barn slash the horse stables. So the design that I came up with, and I haven't laid it out yet, is going to be basically kind of your more standard barn. And then it's going to have a side, like maybe a T off of it that has the stables themselves. And I still need to terraform a little more over there. And then once all of our beautiful sheepies and cows come out of there, we'll probably take down a little more of this mountain. But for now, I've got it lit up and flattened out, ready to go for next episode. All right, so standing below our beautiful lighthouse as the sun sets, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It has been pretty much, as you can tell, just a base tour. It is episode 10. I honestly didn't think I would get to episode 10, and as you may have noticed in my little captions, I died in the Nether. It was catastrophic. I basically rage quit for the night because I lost my netherite pickaxe, I lost my diamond pickaxe. Thankfully I didn't have these tools yet. I had scrolls with me. No, I didn't. And I found out the hard way that these scrolls do not work when you're in the nether if you have the warp over there. So I died in lava. It was so painful. I had worked to get all of that netherite done. I mean, the netherite pickaxe, and I had to go back and do all of that all over again. It was miserable. Don't ever die in the nether with stuff. The worst part was I went fortress hunting, and I was on one of those long bridge things, and there was a magma cube, and it literally bounced me right off and right in to the lava, and it was probably a 30 block or more fall, and that was miserable. So that is why I did all of this pretty much today. I have not done a whole lot more except for, the little bits and pieces here. I did release all of those tropical fish. You probably noticed I was holding on to. I put glass panes in here and they can't get out. And they've been hanging out in the pond pretty good. I've got a couple little Nemos and then some other like the more square like angel-y fish. Because as I mentioned, like I have a jungle off in that direction and tropical fish. So we'll probably bring more of those in there. So I did release some cod into this pond over here, but again, like I mentioned before, I haven't seen them in a while. I think they took off. So I might end up having to do like just keep fish here, and that's all I get. And then maybe eventually it'll become an axolotl pond. But again, as I said, we haven't found a lush cave. So if I do find one of those soon, I hopefully will bring you back and show you that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. And as the sun sets on this beautiful shader evening, and I hope to see you in the next episode where we build our lovely barn and stables, and then we corral all of these wild animals hanging out. All right, guys, have a great one. Bye.